more dominated by right-wing bigots, for the lack of a better word. Um, I don't think that moment is here now, but I think in terms of sort of a legal opening, we definitely have a legal opening, and so if you look at it, wherein adequate provision shall be made for minorities to profess and practice their religions and develop their cultures, and so this was so freely profess and practice their religions and develop their cultures. So this is the new change. The objective resolution now in post scenario is the first part, and this was how General Zia had introduced it without freely. The question, of course, before I go further, the question, of course, is whether this introduction of the word freely, is it superfluous, or is it, and this would be a question that I would want to put to legal minds here, do you think that this is a substantive addition, and would you think that this is even a valid argument? I am open to ideas. Just to sort of look at what happened with what is the main focus of my presentation is Zahiruddin versus the state. There was a lot of litigation that was in the background of it, and then one of the things that happened was Muhammad Aslam versus Federation of Pakistan. In this, and this is a quote from the judgment where they're actually explaining what the judgment is. So what he relied on were these things, essentially that it was unconstitutional, it violated Article 20, it violated Article 227(3) of the Constitution, which talks about Islamic law, as a matter of fact. Those are the Islamic provisions of the Pakistani Constitution, and it also violates Universal Declaration of Human Rights in Pakistan. So this is what essentially the Ahmadi case was. And these were Ahmadi advocates. One of them who spoke here, I think at Harvard a couple of years ago, Mujibur Rahman, who was leading all these cases. He's an extraordinary advocate of the Supreme Court, now very old, and he's the one who sort of argued these cases. Then there was Mujibur Rahman Dard versus Federation of Pakistan, not to be confused by Mujibur Rahman, the advocate. And here the court took a very interesting view, and this was still under martial law, under General Zia's government. They said that the Constitution of Pakistan had not really been restored. It had not been restored. Instead, the country was being governed as nearly as possible to the Constitution, and the provisional constitutional order was in force. Therefore, there were no fundamental rights, and therefore the law stays. So this was also challenged before the Supreme Court. All of these cases, along with Zahiruddin versus the state, which emanated from a judgment of the Balochistan High Court, and that was essentially, and this is where so Ahmadis insisted on wearing badges and headbands, for that matter, which said La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, which basically means there is no God and Muhammad is his prophet. And this case then, so they were convicted for that for 3 years, and that case also went there. And so all of these other cases were heard together with this particular case, and the entire case is now called Zahiruddin versus the state. Now the majority opinion in this case, and I'll come to how they came to this particular view, the majority opinion is that there is a general consensus among Muslims that whenever an Ahmadi recites or displays kalma, he proclaims that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad is the prophet, who should be obeyed, and the one who does not do that is infidel. In the alternative, they pose as Muslims and deceive others. Now, this is very interesting because I have spoken to several Ahmadis, and they are very clear that La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah does not refer to Mr. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, but it refers to Muhammad himself. Again, that's sort of, this is the profession of faith. So even if you look at Islamic jurisprudence, 1,400 years of Islamic jurisprudence is very clear that anyone who says the Kalma Shahada is a Muslim. And anyone, and so there is no room for takfir in that sense. And there are arguments against it, but by and large, the idea that if one professes to be a Muslim, he's considered a Muslim, that unfortunately was not considered by the Supreme Court in this, and this is the majority opinion. The minority opinion was completely different, and that is something that I will address in whatever writing that will come out of it. But in the majority opinion, this is what they were talking about. They're like, so here's what they're saying essentially. If you think about it, and if you read the entire entire judgment, they're saying that the Muslim feelings are being outraged. They're being outraged by this idea that there's this group of people who don't consider Muhammad the final prophet, but they call themselves Muslims, and as in doing so, they are outraging the feelings of a Muslim majority, and therefore there is a reasonable classification and a reasonable regulation of religion, and this is what, so there are a number of cases of the U.S. Supreme Court that they quoted, and the argument here being, and as I was telling Emily earlier, the argument here was that look, we are an Islamic republic with the state religion Islam, but even in a secular republic like the United States of America, which has a First Amendment which gives free exercise of religion, you have cases like Reynolds. This is a case from 1875 or 1878, sorry, where the Supreme Court held that Congress was deprived of all legislative power over mere opinion, but was left free to reach actions which were in violation of social duties or subversive of good order. So basically, the argument that is being made here is that if an Ahmadi professes to be a Muslim, he is subversive of good order. Laws are made for government of actions, and while they cannot interfere with mere religious beliefs and opinions, they may with practices. So the question here is, and the Reynolds case, I'm sure you all know, dealt with the idea of polygamy for Mormons. Now, this is distinguishable if you think about it, and Pakistani Supreme Court is entirely wrong on this.